Hello everyone, back out here as I promised in nature. Actually skipped the gym today because it's kind of I give weight to numerology, and it's a 7 day, and it's actually very it's just not the best time to work out. It's recommended against working out physically or making any sort of commitments in terms of relationships like marriage or getting into a new relationship on overall 7 days. But anyways, I'd like to talk about the 5D Ascension and Enlightenment. So I think if you're totally new to such a subject, a good place to start would be the movie The Celestine Prophecy, and it explains or portrays quite well these kind of prophetic times that we live in, that this whole thing is in essence planned because the earth has its own spirit, and it's pretty much felt all the pain and suffering we've been going through on this planet, and the duality and separation that we've been put through, and has requested from the whole universe, basically, from the grand central sun, from our own sun, that we get help. And to do that, the suns basically will send light codes to upgrade our DNA. And this has been planned for a while now because the earth has made the conscious decision to enter a higher density, what may be known as the fourth density or the fifth dimension. And the difference between those two is another story, but just take what I say. And basically, when we go outside and we receive these light codes from the sun, from sunlight, our DNA evolves. It becomes more conscious. We tap into more of our abilities, and our body, once we fully achieve this ascension process, becomes more crystalline. That's where we get kind of the Christ. Christ was crystalline, but manifested in 3D, right? So our bodies become transparent. We're not as dense anymore, and actually there are beings that exist here on the 5D, and they are out of our vibration, out of our perception. Because they're out of our vibration, they are at a higher frequency. So basically it's light that we cannot see. It vibrates quicker, right? So we can perceive the 7 colors, we can hear sound, we can feel, but outside of these perceptions lies the spirit realm, something that is unable to be perceived by us. So in order for us to fully accept this ascension process, we need to do a lot of spiritual work. And depends on what you define spiritual, but I define spiritual as a healing process in which you become aware of yourself. And that's kind of like what enlightenment really is. Enlightenment is that awareness that you are now awake, right? I was listening to Osho, I believe it is, and he was describing it as the transition from the dreamlike state to an awakened state. Okay, so when you wake up from your dream at night, sometimes it feels like you're awake, but you're still in that dream. But when you are truly awake, when you realize your physical body has risen from that bed, you're slowly coming out of that theta-like state, and you are lucid. Because either way, this is still a dream, right? We're a soul within a body and experiencing the physical senses. But we are now lucid in this dream. We're coming out of an unconscious dream where we believed we weren't in control and everything outside of us was separate from us. But now we're transcending that ego mindset, and we are aware that everything is us. and we are everything. And everything is dependent on our interpretation of it, how we choose to see it, our perception. So that's enlightenment. It's not something you can achieve. It's something you awaken to, you discover inside of yourself. And you have the realization, the insight that everything is just a game. We're here to play. So, transitioning that to the 5D experience, it is the realization that we don't want to play a game of suffering anymore. That we want to play in an enlightened game now, where we are all awake, or the ones that choose to be, at least. Because some people will choose to remain in that dream. They found lessons, or their soul still has lessons to learn from that dream. Therefore, they will reincarnate into a different reality. But until that time, there will exist a sort of separation of realities in which they are still experiencing their same reality, but they are not able to perceive the 5D reality, because 5D is love, is enlightenment, is letting go of ego, is unity, or rather non-duality. Unity goes even further, than which we all unite our consciousness and we become a social mind complex, as described in the Law of One. But in order for you to be part of that 5D ascension process, you need to bring light to the darkness within you. You need to become aware of your own traumas, limitations, problems, beliefs that you may have that are creating a sort of separation between you and another, or the perceived other. Everybody is just you, and if you don't perceive it as that, there is some sort of trauma, some sort of fear inside of you that is limiting you from that understanding. So you need to perform that shadow work. And that's why when this solar flare or galactic solar flare, light codes will be forced upon us in a way, lovingly of course, for the help of humanity, they will bring to light everything within us. And some people's bodies will be so engulfed in darkness that they won't be able to handle such a process, and they'll kind of like short circuit, and that's where they just reincarnate somewhere else. But until that time, like I said, there will exist that separation. For the people that have been doing the work, this process will feel like a sort of relief, like, yes, this is what we've been waiting for, truly. This is the path that we are meant to be on, becoming less dense, more crystalline, because in higher dimensions, time speeds up, so our manifestations come quicker, because here time is the lag between manifestations, and in higher dimensions, when we think, we manifest much quicker. And this is rightfully so, because in the higher dimensions we choose to align ourselves more with love, and obviously more positive thoughts, while as here time is actually is more of a protective thing for us, because the more we align with duality, the more we are prone to even negative thoughts. And if we had those negative thoughts manifesting as quickly, you can imagine how quickly reality may collapse for us, as we would manifest some of the most atrocious things for us. So yeah, we have to use that to our advantage, and that will definitely suit us better in a 5D perspective. And you may have even noticed that time is actually speeding up in our 3D reality currently, kind of like a collapse of space-time, and it explains why you see all these plans hurriedly being rushed out ever since 2020 started, because even the people behind this current reality, current matrix, or illusion rather, that we experience, they understand what's coming. This predestined flash will wake a lot of people up, and it may kill some people. To be honest, I'm not certain, but like I said, my understanding of it, if your body can't handle the light codes because your DNA has been that regressed, especially because of technological things like vaccines or chip implants you may have gotten. You can tell I don't subscribe to such modalities, but you know, it's your free will, it's your choice. You will get to re-experience these lessons in another lifetime, more than likely, if you choose to go on that path. But even with the whole obviously mask scenario and you know so giving into authority, it's your free will. You choose to be whatever you want or be whatever you want, but in this time, the more you activate yourself, the more you have this self-empowering status to you where you don't need anything from anyone and you're fully healed, and nothing anyone can say or nothing anyone says will trigger you or can trigger you. You start activating these light codes within you because you're basically telling God, the universe, that you're ready for more. You've learned the lessons of 3D and you are now more aligned to love because you love yourself, and you can now share that love with others. You cannot love another without loving yourself. And if you are fearful of others, you're fearful more than likely of yourself, because everything we do is a projection. So just be wary of that, and be wary of where you may be on this whole path. Whether, you know, this everything I say may sound incredibly obnoxious or fearful or whatever. It's your choice to interpret it as such, and you're free to believe whatever you choose. But I can say with a certainty that these things are coming. I know it myself. Okay, so that wisdom exists inside each of us. And what you can do is meditate, ask God for healing, to show you, to become more aware of any limitations you may have, or what healing needs to be done, where the trauma really is. It will come to the surface, it will manifest itself in certain, maybe even physical symptoms or other methods. And then you can transmute that darkness and you can reintegrate it, and your DNA expands and elongates and ascends and activates. And then you absorb as much of these codes as you can, because the sun has heard our prayers, and so has the earth. And you know, if you're ready, you're ready. So you can begin today. Doesn't matter what's been going on previously. If you choose now to become more aware of yourself, you'll become more aware. But yeah, I hope you guys found this message helpful. I felt pretty called to talk about this today, because I feel like it's getting really, really close. Things are changing. And everyone said December 21st that something's gonna happen. No one really ever knows. It's divine timing, right? It's like, oh, I know exactly when I'm gonna meet the love of my life. It's gonna be on this date. And no, you don't. You know, when it's supposed to happen, it'll happen, and it happens when it's the best suitable time for us, right? When we can get the most out of people, when we can enlighten and awaken as many people. So it won't really happen just for one person, and apparently it's gonna go through multiple ways anyways. But yeah, I'm gonna finish this video here. So give it a like if you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys another time. Bye.